refusing to move across the country after my husband's aunt died. He wants us to take over her house, but I don't want to uproot our lives. My 36F husband's 37F, very close aunt 51F, recently died after a year-long battle with a horrible disease. His parents 76M72F are devastated. The aunt was my Emil's much younger sister, who was more like a daughter to both her and my Phil. My husband didn't necessarily see her as a sister. He has an older sister 40F who he is much closer to than he was his aunt, who had a lot of problems with alcoholism and emotional instability, but he acknowledges that his parents feel that way and feels immense guilt for not being in closer contact with her over the past few years. He has some resentment of me as well, since his aunt and I never got along for lack of character count. She was not nice to me, and he acknowledged this previously. He has implied some blame on my part for the wedge between them. In the wake of this devastating loss, his parents and sister want us to move back to their area, which is directly across the country from where we live. My husband is also racked with guilt for not having been there during his aunt's final months other than a few visits on weekends, so he is inclined to do what his family asks. I am opposed to this move for a few reasons. My husband's job is here. He is in a specialized field, and it wouldn't be easy to find a new job, especially in a different state. Meanwhile, I am a stay-at-home mom of our daughter 7F. If my husband quits his job, we'll have zero income. We have robust savings that could get us through 6 months, but using them to upend our life seems potentially irresponsible. Part of why I'm still a SOM is because our daughter has social-emotional struggles. She is suspected ADHD with a diagnosed panic disorder. She has finally settled into a nice routine at school and at home. I'm very concerned that a sudden major move, ripping her away from her known routine, friends, and safe places will set us back months in her progress. His family is obviously devastated, but they don't have an acute need for help that we could provide. They want the comfort of their son nearby, which I sympathize with, but I don't think it's a good enough reason to, again, upend our life. I've always heard you shouldn't make big changes during the first year of grief. My rejection of this idea has really upset my husband, and he's barely speaking to me right now. He's been withdrawn and cold. And at the same time, my Sil sent me a harsh text message, ripping me apart for being so selfish in the face of their overwhelming grief. She says my parents have gotten enough time with us. They live in the same city we do now. And it's my husband's side of the family's turn, but my reasons for not wanting to move across the country have nothing to do with my extended family. It's for my nuclear family stability.
Next story.
Saying I'd rather be divorced than have mother-in-law living with us. Husband thinks I'm overreacting, but I can't handle her in our home. So my husband is military, and we have a 2-year-old together. We have the opportunity to possibly be near our hometown next year. My Mel is wanting to live with us and basically go wherever we go. I could not tell you why, because her house is completely paid off and she only has the basic utilities to pay for. Her and my husband don't get along for more than 30 minutes at a time, it seems. She said she was thinking of the future and wanted to discuss this with us more the next time we go back to our hometown. My husband thinks this could be a great idea because she would be able to have a relationship with our son and could watch him so I can go back to work. I have mentioned before how I feel bad not contributing financially, but he has said he prefers me being home with our son because he is nonverbal and was recently diagnosed with autism. We are financially stable, and me being a SOM has never been a stressor in our marriage, so I don't feel we need her here for that. He also said she already stays in her room all the time anyways, so it wouldn't be any different having her here because she would never bother us and be in our business. I truly do not understand how he thinks it would be fine. I told him I married him, not him and his mom. Our house is my comfort, where our little family can be fully in peace together. I would rather be divorced than to take on an in-law or even my own parents forever. If this were for reasons due to her health, or she simply needed help and couldn't live alone, I would have a completely different mindset. But it's not. She just wants to live with us. Also want to add, my husband is not a mommy's boy at all. So when I say I don't understand it, I seriously don't. They will both go well over a month without talking to each other, not even a simple text. I am usually the one to say it's been a while since you heard from your mom, you should give her a call. I talk to both of my parents daily and love them to death. Still wouldn't want them living with me unless they needed the help.
Next story.
Wanting my boyfriend to distance himself from his close female friend. He thinks I'm overreacting, but their relationship makes me uncomfortable. My boyfriend Justin, 26MN, I 23F, have been a couple for 7 months, but started dating a couple months before that. So in all, I've known him less than a year, and I'm already head over heels for him and feel like I've known him forever. It's still our honeymoon phase, but I've genuinely never felt this strongly about another guy before, and have definitely never thought as long-term as I'm thinking with him. Justin is confident, charismatic, passionate and driven, intelligent and emotionally mature, values his family, is especially kind to children and elderly people, and just has a presence that lights up the room. It also doesn't hurt that he's 6'1", handsome, has a yummy body, and is an amazing lover. Anyway, the only real problem in our relationship, from my point of view, is his friendship with Olivia, 24F, who has known since her first year of university 6 years. BF is smart with women, used to attention, and doesn't cross boundaries with them. The only time he comes close is with Olivia, and even then, it's mostly her initiating things. But the way she behaves around him is honestly the #1 source of conflict in our relationship. I am quite friendly with Justin's circle of friends now, and I hang out with them at least once per week, so things can be pretty uncomfortable for me. Things that make me uncomfortable. 1. She is exactly my BF's type, not really her fault, I know. I have seen a few girls that my BF has been with from his social media, and they all look more or less like Olivia. She's 170 centimeters 5, athletically built, has cat eyes and a pouty mouth, and just gives off a sexy aura. I'm 162 centimeters 5'3", in shape, and have a decent face, but 1. It bothers me that I'm nothing close to Justin's type, and 2. That Olivia is his type. 2. Olivia has always been nice enough to me, but when I first met her, she gave me an eyebrows raised. Let's see how long you last kind of look. I admit that I could be overthinking this one. 3. She's always finding excuses to touch Justin. An example is brushing food off of his clothes face hello, that's my job, or fixing his shirt collar. She also likes to give him back hugs. Once, she hugged him from behind and I overheard her saying, "How come you never give me back hugs anymore?" The way she said it was low and whispery and rubbed me the wrong way. I'm 99% sure an objective passerby could have interpreted her tone as seductive. When I brought it up to Justin, all he said was, "Yeah, that was weird, I guess." 4. She has this cute act that she does for Justin when he doesn't want to do something for her. Sometimes this is probably weird in itself. She'll ask him to buy her something, like an ice cream, and when he says no, she'll stand in front of him and pout and make deer eyes. Or sometimes she just grabs him and pushes him towards whatever she wants, points to it, and does the cutesy act. 5. She greets him by saying, "Hey, you," and winking and pretends shooting him. 6. Justin only listens to Olivia. He's a pretty stubborn guy and doesn't really follow others, unless it's Olivia. One of the things that bothers me the most in this regard is an incident that happened in a club. Justin and I were drinking with his friends when another group of people got in an argument with some of Justin's guy friends. Justin tried to defuse the situation at first, but the other guys were extremely disrespectful, and he was on the verge of fighting 3 guys at once. I kept telling him to leave them alone, but he just wouldn't back down, even after the bartender threatened to call the police. Then Olivia walks over to him, pulls him by the arm, and yells at him, "Stop, you're acting stupid." She dragged him to the bar, and they were talking there alone for 15 minutes. I know I probably should have went and checked on him, but I was pretty shocked, angry considering what just happened. One of Justin's friends noticed me watching and told me, "Don't feel bad. It's always been this way with them," which obviously made me feel worse. 7. Yesterday, we went to dinner with his friends. The day was pretty warm, so Justin was only wearing a t-shirt, but by the time we finished, it was windy and quite a bit colder. We decided to take a walk along the river walk, and Olivia suddenly wrapped her cardigan around my BF's shoulders. He started joking around and posing like a model before giving it back, but I kind of wish he would have just given it back to her right away. There are a lot of these kinds of instances where Olivia will do small, caring things for him, things that a GF does. 8. My woman's intuition just tells me that Olivia wants more from Justin than he's giving her. She's sarcastic and rude to him half the time because that's their dynamic, her personality. However, when he's not paying attention to her, I sometimes catch her stealing glances at him. Sometimes she looks smitten, sometimes she looks straight up lustful, and sometimes she looks sad. I think it's obvious she has feelings for him, but when I brought it up with my BF, he told me they were just close. 9. There is much more to add, but I'm just going to end with this. I understand that some people are natural flirts, but Olivia doesn't act like this to any other guys in their group. Her personality is pretty strong. She's sarcastic and relentlessly teases them, but no touching, no cute-eye act, none of the small, thoughtful stuff. And definitely none of the misty-eyed gazes. Some of the guys even jokingly complain that they're jealous that she only acts like a girl to Justin. Yesterday, after the cardigan thing, when Justin dropped me off, I asked him to talk because I've been growing more insecure about his friendship with Olivia. We talked in my apartment for around 1 hour about it and didn't really make any progress. Basically, he agreed not to meet Olivia alone, but said that she was important to him, told me some things they helped each other get through in university, and that he wanted her in his life. I tried to hook up with him after that, but he said he was tired and left. I cried after that and called my older sister and talked about the situation. She told me that since Justin hasn't done anything to break my trust, that I should continue trusting him, and that there's a reason he's with me and not Olivia. She also said that if he crosses the line, I need to be strong enough to leave him. I also called my best friend this morning. She, on the other hand, is convinced that Justin and Olivia were or are more than just close. She thinks I need to give him an ultimatum. Choose the friendship or the relationship. Basically, I'm at a loss for what to do now. I love Justin and really think we have a future together, but this friendship with Olivia is driving me crazy. Is this just jealousy, my insecurities, or do I really need to give my BF an ultimatum? I really like him, but I don't know if I'll ever be comfortable in this relationship as long as Olivia is a part of his life. Drive BF 7 months, has a close female friend 6 years that constantly flirts, touches, and generally seems romantically interested in him. I've brought this up with Beef, and he agrees not to meet female friend alone but doesn't want to give up friendship. I'm extremely uncomfortable with this girl. Do I need to work on myself, or should I give BF an ultimatum?